Hello! We, and by we I mean you and I, are currently in Abu Dhabi. The special thing about this is I am by myself. It is the first time, I feel like in 10 years, like apart from that week at Burning Man, it's the first time that my boyfriend and I are separated. I don't even know how to pronounce this word because I never had to use it. So yeah, we went different ways because I have a crazy travel schedule. Okay, so I was just in Mexico and I was there very briefly. I left in the morning at 4 a.m. I traveled to Mexico. I had a fitting all day. I went to bed. And then the next day I woke up at 3 a.m. I shot for 12 hours and I went straight to the airport. I hope you don't hear the background noise. I flew 12 hours to Frankfurt and then I had a layover of 6 hours. In between I had to go to the police station. That's another story I'm gonna tell you later. You will not believe it. And then I took the flight 9 p.m. in Germany, which is 3 p.m. New York time, 2 p.m. Mexico time, at midnight in Abu Dhabi. And I'm just as confused as you are. And the flight was only 6 hours. And you know what? I prefer longer flights because when I have a 12-hour flight, I know I'm gonna sleep because how can you stay awake for 12 hours? Like, that's impossible on a plane. But with a 6-hour flight, I was like, okay, damn, I have to sleep. So I was like, let me eat real quick because I didn't eat. And then I'm going to sleep. The thing is about airlines from the Middle East or like Etihad, oh, the other one was Saudi Air. What they do is they prepare the food freshly on board, which in itself is insane. The best food you'll ever eat, like the best. After 1 hour I was like, where's my food? I gotta eat, I gotta sleep. And I asked the stewardess, I'm like, hey, because then I thought, because the food wasn't coming and nobody was eating, so I was like, maybe they serve it in the morning, which I was like, it's kind of weird because I chose a potato soup and pasta. I was like, And then I remembered in Saudi Air I also waited really long because they make it fresh. There's a chef who's preparing the food. Like, what the hell? I stayed up for the food and I'm so glad I did because it was 1,000,000% worth it. It was so good, like by far the best airline food ever. But that ended up being a total amount of 3 hours of sleep. And yeah, I'm just trying to get by, you know? I think you can still hear me. Which is really cool. But it doesn't stop here, guys. After this, I'm going to Oslo. Like, this week's work schedule is so wild. Such a unique business week, like business travel week. But also its destination, I haven't been to either. I have never been to Mexico City. I mean, I was only there for like 30 hours, so I guess it like kind of doesn't count and I have to come back. I would come back alone for the food. And I'm here for Formula 1 and in Oslo I'm doing a ski trip with Montclair. Obviously I'm taking you along, duh. But wow, it's kind of intense. And again, I will tell you such a crazy story later. Sometimes I feel like I'm in a Truman Show because my life is like unreal. I think when I was traveling, I slept very like because I bit my inner lip and it's so painful. And I don't understand how I can bite it so deep down. It must happen like this, which would mean I made a very ugly face. So today is the first day. I'm actually attending a birthday tonight because it's Kelly Piquet's I was about to speak German too. It's Kelly Piquet's birthday, which is so funny because, like, what are the chances that I'm going to Abu Dhabi and attend a birthday? So yeah, Jürgen is doing Hoffman. Unfortunately, you can't do it together. Like, all my friends who did it swear by it. Like, they swear by it. And it's all people I very highly admire. They're like super successful, super accomplished with work and private life, like families, etc. And they all say, I have to do it, like we have to do it before we want kids, because you learn to unlearn patterns. You will just be such a better person and also a better parent, I guess. And I'm just so intrigued, you know, I love self-improvement. I'm obsessed with self-improvement. I am literally, if you ask me what my full-time job is, it's me. I am working for Xenia, with Xenia. I'm obsessed with improving myself. And every time I reach a point where I'm like, whoa, like now I cracked the code. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, I got it now. Like, I got it. Like, this is life-changing. And then I learn new shit that is even more mind-blowing. So I think it's like a never-ending road. you will never get to the end. Like this project will never be finished, which is crazy because I feel like my mental construct of it is it will be finished more or less. But I think that my goals in life are so high. Like it's not just normal goals. Like I could be pretty happy where I am right now, but I'm delusional. In fact, I'm actually delusional right now because I didn't sleep, but I'm also delusional about my life goals. Like I have no doubt that I will reach my delusions. And I think it's so healthy to be a bit delusional. Obviously, you cannot be like too out of touch with reality because I've been there. You're not serving yourself when you're too out of touch. My therapist put it so well because it's self-constructs that we have inside of us, like ego states. And I have two very dominant ego states. One is very grandiose, like one is very delusional. Like one is like, yeah, of course I'll get it. Of course I'll reach all my goals. Why wouldn't I? Like, duh. I have a very, very high internal self-worth. Like that is so high. That's why I never take bullshit. Never. Like never. On the other hand, I have another ego state that's very dominant. And it's like this very like, I want to be humble. I want to please everybody. Like I prioritize others before me. And they're in conflict with each other. But they don't have to be. Like they can be friendly with each other. And I think when I'm out of balance, I swing to one of these states over the top. I think right now though, I'm getting back in the middle because I was more on the people-pleasing side. I'm getting back to the middle and it feels really good because I'm very optimistic and at the same time I'm dealing with reality, you know? I've been loving this MAC lipstick lately. It's called Spice World and it's such a rich color. I feel like it's so flattering on me. Okay, what's my plan? It is 1:30. Ooh, I think I like the light. Do we like the light? Let me sit down. I think I owe you guys a little update because why was she gone from YouTube? That wasn't a deal. It wasn't a deal that I do Vlogtober and then disappear for like a month. I didn't disappear for a month, but I was honestly I'm gonna be very honest with you. I was really demotivated. I didn't find joy in filming anymore. And the reason was that like I just hate, let me get this is my little construction. We leave her here, we take her. This is my T-struction. This is the T case, but I'm using it. So I think that I needed to have some time for myself. And I don't mean it in a way that something happened. It's quite the opposite. I feel like I have this like pull and push issue because I struggle with giving equal energy to all of my platforms and I invested more time into Instagram, so then my YouTube kind of suffered from it and I think I'm at a point where I just need to hire. But with all my traveling and like all the time zones I'm in, it's tricky to find somebody, you know, but I definitely need help with my team as always. Like that's something I want to master and it's not one of my strengths, you know. I do everything by myself right now, like literally everything except video editing. But yeah, but I also feel like I really had time to focus on myself and actually I also went through some things because obviously the election was kind of like it opened a new timeline, you know? And I struggled a little bit with adjusting to the reality of our times. And also, I'm not going into deep, but time will tell. And then, wait, something else happened. I took the time to really focus and it's been so nice, life-changing. But I could say this about every month because I always strive to improve and learn. And I think I have a dissonance. I think there's a big difference between where I am in life and what I'm going through versus the things that I put out there. And in my head, I think about it so much. Like, it's natural for me that you guys know that every week I feel like it has a different like growth focus. Oh my god, I just remembered. So one part, a big part 2 weeks ago was people pleasing. And I had a person who betrayed me in such an insane way. And I had to deal with this. But I broke off the connection of the energy fields. I mean, this sounds so crazy, but basically if you get triggered by somebody who tried to harm you or hurt you, then this person has access to your energy. But it's an illusion because it's not a real access the person has. It's you giving the person the access. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you need to break the pattern so that you are energetically protected and that people cannot reach you no matter what they do, because you don't react. Like, obviously you react because you need to allow the feeling, and that's something I did. And guys, I would say I'm a person, I feel everything like very strongly. I mean, that's quite obvious, I would assume. But some feelings I did not allow. And in particular, that feeling of betrayal where I was so deeply hurt and I felt so used, almost abused. And I would always put this aside because I was like, okay, it's been like, it also happened a while ago, you know, so it's been a while. And the reason why I kept coming back is because I wasn't finished with it. And you know, people come into your life as either a blessing or a lesson. So what is the lesson? And my lesson was to feel the feeling. Oh my God. I'll never forget how I went to my therapist and I described to her the emotions that I felt. And basically what happened is that I got triggered. I was like, okay, now it's time to face this feeling. I need to like sit in discomfort. That's something I'm bad at. I don't like sitting in discomfort. Like, I guess a lot of people, you know, I think we all need to learn. I think there would be no conflict in this world if we would all learn how to sit in discomfort and how to sit in pain. And it's so uncomfortable. And that's something I never really did because I like to push back. So if somebody harms me, I want to push back because I'm standing up for myself. I'm very like self-defensive because I like to protect myself. But sometimes, or actually I think always, you need to sit with the pain. And that's how you cut the power of reacting to circumstances outside of you. So I was like, okay, today is the day. I'm gonna sit in discomfort. So I put on a meditation. The meditation was called Sitting in Discomfort. Oh my God. I cannot describe the feeling that I was feeling because it was so physical. I was in physical pain. I literally felt, it was obviously in my heart and in my arms, weirdly. And then the meditation was like, where do you feel it? And locate the pain. And I was like, oh my God, I hate it. And I died. It was unbearable. Unfucking bearable. And then 15 minutes later, and I was like, I feel really good. I feel fucking strong. Like, genuinely, I felt like I entered another lifetime because that was the moment I learned to truly sit with pain. And I learned that I survived it because every time you push your pain to the side, you're reinforcing the story that you are not able to tolerate it. And every time you do it again and again and again, and we've probably all been doing this for years, you reinforce that belief. So you need to push against it. Thank God I had therapy the next day. I show up to my therapist's office and I tell her about this. And she was stoked. She was like, this is so great. Obviously, she knows me so well. She knows that this is like one of my problems because every time I get triggered when others try to like hurt me or harm me, I get so like aggressive. I'm like, how can people be so fucking mean? And I get so self-defensive. And now I was like, okay, I felt the pain and I died. She was like, oh my God, this is amazing because this is a real breakthrough. She was actually so excited for me, which made me really excited. And I was like, yeah, but I died. And she was like, no, you didn't die. And I said, I died. And she was like, no, you didn't die. And I was like, no, but I died. I swear it felt like I died. But the reality is I didn't die. I am here. I could feel it. And now I am so much stronger. I'm so much more independent because now I learned a skill that every time somebody's trying to hurt me, somebody's trying to like harm me, I will be able to work through it. And I love having this power because I am in power over myself. You know what I mean? And this is such an important skill. You guys need to learn this. Like, everybody needs to learn the skill, because I feel like there's like one part in life where it's very important to have community and connection, etc. But there's another part where you need to have such strong independence. In terms of other things and circumstances cannot shake you at your core. It's like a core thing. I did core work, and I'm not talking about Pilates. Yeah, that was something, but it was so great for me, and I feel like I'm a new person. And I know I'm saying this lightly, but I honestly put so much work in myself that I do feel like this like every other month, because I have another breakthrough. And I was thinking about, why do I need to fix myself so much? Because if you would have asked me like 5 years ago, I never really went through like super duper trauma. Like, I had like, I always say I had a picturesque childhood. I had amazing friends in school. I love my parents. I have a great relationship with my parents. Like, all these like hard facts from the outside were so good to me, looked so good for me. And then I looked closer, and then I realized, oh, you know, there was this thing that happened in 6th grade that like, it shaped me. And there's this other thing when my parents divorced, and there was this other thing of me going to America for the first time when I was 15, and I didn't experience trauma. You know, trauma, I know it's like very lightly used nowadays. Like, everything is traumatic and everything is a trauma. I see it like paper cuts. So if you have like 2 or 3 paper cuts, that's okay. But if you have like 50 paper cuts, that's pretty painful, right? And I think all humans, like literally all humans, have paper cut traumas. And the goal, and that's something I got wrong in the past. I was always like, everything needs to be perfect. My life needs to be perfect. This is an illusion. Your life does not need to be perfect. I don't know where this stems from. Like, who put this in our heads? Maybe TV shows? I don't know. But the goal in life is to have a full life, a whole life, a complete life. And I'm not talking about getting married, have kids. No, I'm talking about the full realm of a human experience. And it's not just love, happiness, and butterflies. But you will get such a bigger quality of that if you also allow the pain, the anger, the desperation. That's wholeness. And there's no way around it. You will never live a whole life if you don't allow these feelings. And don't let them consume you. It's quite the opposite. You allow them. The way I looked at it was, I pictured, I'm a visual person, right? I pictured that I have a house, which is me. And obviously I have a really cool house. And my pain was a visitor. And usually my pain is like knocking, and it's like, hi, can I come in? And I would be like, no, bye, and close the door. And I was like, come on in, sit down. And obviously pain was very excited because it never got to see the inside. So it like checked everything out, and maybe it was a bit like extreme, you know, like, you know, these visitors that come in like a storm and they're like everywhere and you're like so stressed. But then pain relaxed, and so did I. And I was like, oh, I can handle that visitor. It's not a bad visitor at all. Anyway, I'm always doing this curve when I'm telling stories. The reason why I'm telling you this is because I also did this exercise where I wrote down 300 goals. And I know you're thinking, why the hell would you write 300 goals? Like, that's crazy. Yes, it is. The reason why I did it is because I saw this exercise, and the thing about this exercise is that it really forces you to think so deep about what you want, where you want to go in life. And the first 50 was quite okay. The first 100 I struggled, and then 100 to 200 I was like, okay, like this is, obviously I added things like becoming friends with Taylor, like duh. And then 200 to 300 I was like, the good thing is I put everything into ChatGPT. So I was like, hey, ChatGPT, based on everything you know about me, name materialistic things. Because I am so focused on soft goals, not soft goals, but like non-materialistic goals in life, that I was like, give me some materialistic stuff, because I genuinely don't have any. Like, I never put a car on my goal list. I think now I did, or maybe I didn't, because I don't need a car. I obviously put a boat for my dad. I want to buy a boat for my dad. And then I put a lot of things that I want to do for others, and not in a people-pleasing way, but I just want to be so generous when it comes to my friends. Like, I want to get a chalet in Switzerland, call my crew and be like, guys, you're coming over. And they're like, oh, you know, flights are so inconvenient. I'm like, I took care of everything. You have to worry about nothing. And then one of my dreams is that I literally have a closet waiting for them. Like, that's my dream. Like an influencer trip for my friends. Anyway, so I did this exercise and I realized that I have to go really far in life. And in order to get there, I need to change who I am. So it's not that I have to fix so much about myself, but the person who will reach all these goals is on a higher level than I am now. Does that make sense? Wow, so much talking. I clearly have been absent from YouTube because why am I talking so much? I think I should get a coffee. Or would that be like so inappropriate because it's 2 p.m.? It's kind of inappropriate. Am I gonna be a bad girl? I'm sometimes like this girl. I mentioned it before.
I actually do cuss a little.
Do you?
Also, yeah.
What's your favorite curse word?
Probably fuck.
Okay, I think I'm gonna get a coffee. I think I deserve a coffee. Hell yeah. And then I might show you a little bit of where I am right now. This is my view, by the way. Oh. Huh. Well, it's a marina. Okay? Okay.